Hello and welcome back to Seconds Out. My name is Ayman Khan here with recent Misfits boxing signing and one-time potential opponent of Tommy Fury, Paul Bamba. Paul, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me, man.
A pleasure to have you. A pleasure to speak to you. We've just witnessed Tommy Fury win by split decision against Jake Paul. Talk me through the fight. What did you see?
It seemed to be a lot tougher of a fight than even I anticipated. I'm pretty sure than Tommy anticipated. I know he was saying he was going to knock him spark out and all that good stuff. Jake proved to be a strong competitor. He's definitely, I think he definitely earned everybody's respect today, especially how he closed out the show. A lot of people were saying it was a slip. It looked like a drop to me. Like it looked like he definitely stopped him in his tracks. Um, and I think that overall it was just a great fight. It was action packed in my mind.
How did you expect it to go? Let's rewind before the fight was going on. You heard all the back and forth, but how were you expecting the fight to go in the lead up to this?
Um, but actually, literally everything I said happened. I told everybody that it would start off. Jake would start off strong. Tommy might take a little bit to adjust to it because he normally starts off strong, but he normally doesn't have people that press him. And ultimately, fatigue is going to set in, and then it's just discipline and technique and natural reflexes. And I really gave that to Tommy because he has a very sharp jab, good footwork, and he has the experience that a YouTuber like Jake wouldn't have.
Now, the referee came under some fire by the commentator, specifically Sean Porter, gave him some criticism. I wonder what you felt of the 2 point deductions that were given, one for Jake Paul, one for Tommy Fury, which was given second after the Jake Paul deduction, which was for shots to the back of the head.
Yeah, I think refs should just let us fight for the most part. I know with stuff like this, everybody tries to be as watchful as possible. But at the same time, I didn't really see any dirty tactics from either fighter. It was more like the fatigue setting in, ducking under shots. Sometimes you get hit in the back of the head with stuff like that. That's, I don't know. But at the end of the day, we have the refs to protect us. So it makes sense. You got to respect it. Don't have to like it though, you know?
Now that knockdown may or may not be contentious. I haven't had a look at the online reaction to it just yet, but for me, it looked like a legitimate knockdown. For some, it seemed like a slip. Sean Porter again mentioned that Errol Spence called it a slip at ringside. But what did you think it was like? And do you think maybe Tommy Fury has a claim to say that it was a slip?
Um, I feel like he's gonna say it was a slip, but it looked pretty spot on. Like I said, I mean, there's no lucky punches in boxing. We all know that. If something lands, it's because someone set it up. Um, so I would say he got dropped. And then getting dropped in the eighth round, that just lets Jake know that this rematch, he has the power and he can keep that power up with him the whole time. And that's something Tommy will have to adjust to in the future.
Now, Jake, after the fight, he was pretty he's good about it. Maybe some might think that Jake coming off or getting a defeat, he might not take to it very well, but he took it very well. He spoke very well after the fight, and he talked about that rematch. That rematch clause is there. Do you expect him to exercise that and have that rematch and go again?
Oh yeah, there's too much money, too much millions at stake to not let something like that happen again. I'm pretty sure both sides will be very much happy to do so. On Tommy's going to win again, probably in better fashion. That would be my mind. I don't think you can. What Tommy has, he's been doing it so long. Someone like Jake that just jumped into the sport as of recent, and he's. I just don't think it plays out any differently. I do think it's kind of cool that his power carried throughout the eighth round. That is impressive. And Tommy's. Sometimes there's lucky shots. Maybe he was a little off balance, but there's a reason why he was off balance. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, he got dropped. But I don't think it plays out any different in a rematch, to be honest.
Now, depending on which side of the boxing fence you sit on, some might say that was a very high level, YouTuber influencer misfits type fight, or that was a proper boxing fight. What level of fight do you feel that was between the two fighters there that we saw?
I thought it was a good competitive matchup, but that being the same, I never thought too much about Tommy anyway, or Jake. I think Jake's a great guy. I think Tommy's a douchebag. I think Jake's an awesome guy for how he helped me out. He, but if we're just talking boxing, uh, I don't really rate Tommy at all, and definitely don't rate Jake. Like I never have. That's why I had Tommy winning it the whole time. But it was competitive. It was competitive because of who's Tommy's gone up against. It should let you know that he needs to take his career a bit more seriously, challenge more, get better opposition and stuff like that. But he did his thing. He did what he was supposed to do at the end of the day.
Paul, do you look at that fight with the tinge not well, maybe the word I'll use is disappointment, considering you were at one point supposed to be on the opposite corner of Tommy Fury, and Tommy was dropped by Jake Paul, maybe didn't have the best performances, and you feel that if that was you, you'd be having your hand raised if you were at the opposite ends of him.
1,000%. One of the things that we were working on my whole camp is we know that Tommy, he like they have a saying like a dog that shits fast doesn't shit long. You know what I mean? Like he blows his load very quickly. Um, he's very you can get in his head very easily, and when fatigue sets in, it makes cowards of most men. Jake constantly kept up. You know what I mean? He was able to drop in the eighth round, so that just says a lot more about Jake than it does Tommy, to be honest. But it was a great fight overall, so I don't want to take anything from anybody. I don't want to hate on Tommy right now. I literally actually won quite a bit of money betting on him, so I'm actually excited about this because everybody was giving me shit about him. Like, nah, it just doesn't make sense to give it to Jake. He's like, but Jake's nice to you. I'm like, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. It has everything to do with that Tommy's the more able boxer in this case. But yeah, I think if Jake was able to, Jake's skill set, my skill set's a lot different. I think if Jake was able to do that, I'd be able to put Tommy away. I truly believe that. That's what we believed going into the fight when we were supposed to fight in Dubai, and it's more solidified today. My coach literally texted me right afterwards and said we would have killed that guy. Like, I just didn't. My chance to shine will be at a later date.
Yeah, Paul, you congratulations on the betting win, but do you feel that you'll ever get the opportunity to get the boxing win over Tommy Fury, or is that long gone?
I think that there's a storyline now. I think if I perform, he just did his thing. He's definitely gonna rematch with Jake. Like, there's no way in hell that's not gonna happen. That'd be foolish. That's a lot of good money. But I'm hoping like getting my name out there a bit more. What I'm trying to do is fight Anthony Taylor at some point this year. So if I knock him out, I know Tommy struggled to do that. I mean, Tommy couldn't even knock out a YouTuber. So, we'll be able to show him what's up, and hopefully the public will call for it and we'll be able to get it on. That's
Yeah,
really my hope.
Paul, I mentioned at the start of this interview, recent Misfits boxing signing, things are looking on the up for yourself in terms of just promotionally in life, and then just activity in boxing too. You're in better spirits than when I last spoke to you. What's the situation with Misfits, and when can people expect to see you out?
I signed a multi-fight deal with Misfits. I'm very happy to be a part of that. Excuse me. Very extremely happy. Not even happy, just like very blessed to have met Mams Taylor and like KSI and all these people that actually like the promotional company is really good. They're very hands on. They take care of their fighters, and they're in good communication with us as well, which is kind of impressive because it's not something you really see all the time. Um, so that's looking up, and then you guys can expect to see me on one of the next Misfits cards. That's all I can say. I'll
Fair.
it's the number that I'm going to be on. You could maybe call me James Bond, one of the Bonds. You never know.
A little veiled, subtle hint there. But yeah, like I mentioned, you're in better spirits than before. What is the latest situation in terms of kind of getting paid by Global Titans? If we end off there, any movement on that at all?
No, I haven't been paid at all. Lost out. I kind of gave up on it. Their lawyers didn't answer my lawyers back. We're taking the court to if they ever like try to do business again. We're taking the court case to federal court. There was enough in damages to be able to do so. But I'm really just focused on building and growing with Misfits and Mams Taylor and the good blessing that I have, an opportunity I have in front of me, and then just whoever gets put in front of me, do what I need to, continue to learn and grow, and then hopefully when Tommy's done playing with Jake, then he can get back to regular boxing like he said he wants to.
Oh, you just broke out there. What was the last 10 seconds?
What was the last thing you heard?
I just said, once Tommy's done playing with Jake Paul.
Oh yeah, I said once he's done playing with Jake Paul, then I'm just hoping like we could get back in the ring. He said he didn't have any aspirations to be a YouTube boxer. I believe him. I don't either. Like I said, I'm just using the platform to grow, and I'm very grateful for the platform. But once he's done doing all that, it'd be nice to get in the ring. And I truly believe I would have knocked him out if Jake could drop him in the eighth round. I would have knocked him out. I have better yeah, I have a way better knockout ratio than Tommy, and I definitely punch harder than Tommy on paper as well. I have better opponents than Tommy has had. If we talk wins and losses, mine had more wins and way less losses. Even if you take out the guy that had like 100 plus losses on his record, I still have a better opponent record. So, I've had a few hiccups with boxing just because I'm new to the sport, but I'm definitely a lot more technical than Jake. I'm a southpaw. I'm crafty, and yeah, it just sucks that it wasn't able to be me. But I'm glad Tommy did his thing, and like I said, hats off to Jake because at the end of the day, he impressed me. I honestly thought he was just going to get completely outboxed, but he definitely showed grit and fortitude.
Well, Paul, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, and it's great to see you having that focus now on that road to getting the success that you want. Where can people find you on social media to follow the twists and turns that you've had so far in your career and the ones that are coming soon as well?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Bamba Juice or on Twitter at Paul Bamba. Little play on words there. And outside of that, I'm always around. So
Paul, much appreciated. Thank you for speaking seconds out. I'll hopefully be in Telford towards the end of the week, and I'll see you there.
would love to see you, man. Look forward to catching up.
No worries. Pleasure.
All right, take care.